Mining companies are selling assets to get by, while a metal producer gets a windfall to pay its debts. Motheo Khoaripe joins us now for those stories and more. Motheo, ArcelorMittal has money to pay its debt. Where's it coming from?
Well, earlier in around May, it was looking to sell half of its stake of the South African business, and that was because it was trying to, pin down some of the debts that it had acquired at about 13 billion in terms of the debt it had acquired. And this time around, it was able to do that, actually releasing a statement today saying that a company in the Netherlands, Max Steel, will be buying that stake for about 3.1 billion. This is actually good for them because it will help them, rejuvenate their bottom line and also, put some capex in some of the business as well. But most importantly, to pay the debt that it had been struggling with and to make better its operations. I mean, its share price today was up more than 10% on the news that it could better its offering. And this is because we've seen a lot of pricing in terms of steel products go down. The commodity has actually struggled in terms of the pricing as well, and that's seen the business go down a fair bit and also acquiring that debt. So in terms of rejuvenating the business, is actually good news for them, and in part of the joint venture with Max Steel, it's working out quite well.
And then we have LLH Capital, a new tech funder in the country. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, new boys on the block, but promising quite a bit. I mean, they're saying they're trying to raise about 2.9 billion rand in terms of an IPO or listing on the JSE. LLH, some of the founders is Romeo Khumalo, someone who's not a stranger to the corporate world, but he's apparently teamed up with Michael Jordan, who was leading the digital front at FNB, someone who's passionate about technology and innovation going into the future. I had a quick look at their website today, and there's a lot of promise there in terms of connecting different African countries, in terms of technology, of drones and the internet of doing things, and artificial intelligence as well, and the Internet of Things, and trying to get into a lot of businesses like cars, security, and cloud computing. And they'll be looking to invest in those types of businesses in order to make money on the continent. I mean, they say they get the digital economy. That's their main promise. So we'll see what they have for the market.
Yeah, and then while we're making more investments in South Africa, that, of course, more good news for us.
Definitely. In the technology space, there's been a lot of investment that's come through, and especially in terms of cloud computing. We've seen Amazon saying they're going to set up in Cape Town as well by 2020. And Amazon is, of course, one of the biggest cloud computing businesses in the world. Microsoft's Azure also setting up in Johannesburg and Cape Town as well. And now this time, Huawei coming through and saying we're ready for projects. Of course, about 2 weeks ago, they were speaking with Altron in, bringing forth some new technology in South Africa, and a lot of changes in the way we do things, the way we pay for things. And this is actually exciting for the consumer as well, because there could be a lot of convenience coming through, first of all in terms of businesses for cloud computing, but also for consumers in terms of consumption, the way they buy things. You could be, it could be a bad or good thing at a retail shop if you buy the goods and pay them yourself without having to speak to any of the cashiers. But there's a lot of technology coming through from them as well. And I think it's a good time for South Africa. And if you're looking to get into a career, you should be looking at, AI instead of, the old traditional way of doing things. Yeah, so technology jobs are looking up in South Africa.
That's exciting to hear. And I'm glad that people have hope in South Africa.
We all do, don't we?
Unlike Leon Lowe. Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it, Motheo Khoaripe.